how do we classify financial assets. We spoke about business model, SPPI. We covered the concept of amortized cost and effective interest rate. Now, financial liabilities, as we know, are contractual obligations to pay cash. The first question again is the financial liability a derivative or held for trading? If it's a derivative liability, the accounting answer is simple. Measure it at fair value through P&L. All fair value changes are recognized in P&L. If it's not a derivative and if it's not held for trading, have you chosen to designate it at fair value? Again, this is something which maybe a private equity funds or hedge funds would do, where the assets are on fair value basis, liability is not on a fair value basis by default. They have a choice to designate liability at fair value. If yes, then any change in your own credit risk needs to be split. Now, let me take a mathematical example to illustrate this part of the topic. We all know that as the interest rate increases, the present value comes down. So if I have 1,000 rupee loan at 10%, if the interest rate is increased, the present value comes down. Now, if I have a liability and the present value comes down, then it's a profit for me because I have to pay less. Now let's go to the real world and see when does interest rate increase. Interest rate can increase in two situations. One is if the market environment itself increases. Second, if my credit rating becomes poorer. So as a company, my credit performance is weak. People are charging me more premium. My interest rate increases. Now it would have been very odd if I present valued or fair valued this and I got a gain, right? Because it's counterintuitive. My performance is weak, but if I fair value, because I pay less money as a liability, I show a profit in P&L. That gap is plugged by doing the split accounting. Again, I don't know too many situations where we would have seen this in India, but this was a Lehman Brothers issue which we all saw in 2008. Your credit rating was deteriorating, but you said my liabilities are fair value, and you made a gain from deteriorating financial position. And therefore, this requirement to split the fair value. Conversion option and compound instrument, we'll talk about this later. Yeah, I think that is what we wanted to cover for today. We will of course start with a quick recap of this tomorrow, but to summarize, definition of a financial asset is cash, equity instruments, contractual right, has to come from contracts. Look at what is there in the contract. Don't look at what is there in law or outside the contract. Once you have a financial asset, classification could be fair value through P&L, amortized cost, FVOCI. Equity instruments, by default fair value through P&L. If it's not held for trading, you have a choice. Debt instruments, look at business model, look at the cash flow characteristics. If cash flow characteristics are not SPPI, fair value through P&L. If cash flow characteristics are SPPI, then look at business model. Business model looks at an aggregate level. How is the pool of assets managed? If it's managed to originate and collect them to maturity, amortized cost, subsequent fair value does not impact P&L balance sheet. If it's held to manage liquidity or you expect sales from it, FVOCI, every balance sheet date measured at fair value, but fair value is in OCI, not P&L. When you sell it, it comes to P&L. Business model is a subjective piece. Look at history. As an auditor, question actual sales data versus what was projected. The moment you see a large piece of sale, start questioning. Effective interest rate is what is used to measure amortized cost. Basically, it is nothing else but IRR, or the yield of the instrument. That's what is the effective interest rate. What goes a part of the effective interest rate is those transaction costs or fees that are directly attributable and incremental. It's an and condition. Both of them need to be satisfied. Performance bonuses, costs that are paid in general, even if the asset would not have come through, are not part of EIR. They are not amortized. They are expensed upfront. And finally, there are different methods to calculate the EIR, especially if there is a large volume and system is not there to calculate it. And that is something you will be able to see in that Excel sheet. And just a couple of minutes about us. I think